Hey y'all, welcome to or back to Growth Rising. I'm Bird, and on this channel we talk about all things dealing with astrology. Lately we've been going over Mars in the different signs, in your birth chart. So if you're not sure of where Mars is in your chart, you can, go into Google and type in free birth chart calculator and go to one of the sites. And the only thing that you'll need to know is your birth date, place, and time. Most of us know our birth date because that's the day that we usually celebrate. Some people don't. But anyway, those three things you'll be able to know what sign and house Mars sits in for you. But if you don't know the time that you were born, most likely you can still see the sign that Mars sits in for you unless you are born on a day where Mars changed signs. And in that case, you would want to know which sign it is for you. So, yeah, right now, we're going to go over Mars in Cancer. So, if you type in all of that information and see that you are born while Mars was in Cancer, um, yeah, so Mars is not a fan of Cancer. Mars and Cancer are not best friends. Mars does not like being there too much, but Mars is still going to do what Mars has to do. So, if you or someone that you know was born with Mars in Cancer, this person can be very passive aggressive, or they could just be like very petty. They may not come out and say stuff all the time, but they will let something be known, just not directly, kind of indirectly. And they may seem like they're not as quick to do something, but it's just they want to make sure that it's something that they want to do. In my opinion, Cancer and Taurus are kind of like cousins because they have some similarities. But like Taurus, Cancer is like, let me make sure that this right here is what I want to do. They may not take as long as Taurus does, but they still want to make sure that it's something they want to do. And they also want to, they're also going to base it off however they feel. One saying that might go well for Mars in Cancer is the best offense is defense. Like don't let nobody get too close so that you can protect yourself before they get a chance to do anything to you. And, when you think of Cancer, you may just think of somebody who's nurturing and sweet and, like a homemaker and all this other good stuff. Well, if you think of the sign Cancer, because I know some people out there who know some Cancers and they're not, always the Cancer stereotype. But yeah, so Mars and Cancer, you may think of these people as weak, but they're actually strong. And that's actually um how they find their strength is through their determination. They can be determined and persistent, and they will actually show real strength. Even though Mars is not comfortable in Cancer, Mars is still going to do what it has to do in any sign that it's in. It's not going to stop. And also, something else that you may want to look at if you're looking at your chart or somebody else's chart, you may want to see where the moon is, since that rules over Cancer, to see if the moon is somewhere that it's comfortable. And so that'll give, Mars more freedom in Cancer for however much freedom it can actually have in a sign that it's not comfortable in. And these people are protective by nature. So, like I said, they may seem weak, but don't try them or anyone who's close to them. Like a mama bear, leave her cubs alone, because as soon as you mess with them, she's coming for you. That's kind of how you can see Mars in Cancer. Like she's not gonna let up, or Papa Bear, whichever bear, a parent bear. So this placement is very protective, and it's not something they have to think about doing. It's something more that comes naturally to them, because Cancer is definitely going to protect. Cancer is going to protect, whoever is close to them. And also, another thing about this sign, since Mars is in Cancer, it's in a water sign. These people can be manipulative and they can argue with you. Not saying that's something that they're going to want to do because they don't want conflict in general, but they can give it to you. But yeah, they can be very manipulative. But I don't know. I kind of think that a lot of water placements can. Not saying they're the only ones, but that's something big with Cancer and Pisces and Scorpio. But anyway, so yeah, they can be manipulative. um, and they can be very defensive. Like whenever you say something to them, they can react in a defensive way because that's just how it automatically comes out for them. They may not necessarily think like, oh, let me get defensive. That's just how they are by nature. Just like being protective, they're gonna also be defensive. Like, don't let nobody get you, too riled up though. Just, keep that in mind. Don't let nobody get up under your skin too much. Yes, you may want to react, especially if it's with someone who's close to you, like a loved one or a parent, child, sibling, close friend, cousin, whatever. If it's somebody who is close to you or something that you really care about, you can find yourself getting very defensive, even if the person is not saying anything in a disrespectful way. So just keep that in mind. Every time somebody tries to say something, it could just be constructive criticism or it could just be their opinion. And if their opinion doesn't agree with yours, it doesn't matter, But yeah. And like I was saying, these people are very motivated by their emotions and the way they feel, and they can come off as very moody because their mood is what determines what they're going to do about a certain situation. You know how I said they're like cousins to Taurus? Cancers will go more off of an emotion. So that's why, they're cousins. They're not the same, but they are closely related because they both want to make sure that they know this is something they want to do. It's just that Cancer is going to be more like, does this feel right? Does this make me angry? Does this make me happy? They're going to be more based off of the feeling of a situation versus the logical side of it. And these people have something like calm strength. It's not like they're going to be out and loud and boastful and like, you make me mad, I'm finna do you like right now. No, they're gonna be strong, but like I said, sometimes their strength is in their determination. Sometimes their strength is in, whatever they have to get done for their loved ones. Or sometimes their strength is in something else that's not necessarily, having to get physical with someone else. Not saying they won't, because they definitely will. A Cancer will fight you. So that's why I'm saying, don't think that they're weak, because they're not. And just because, well, I won't just say a Cancer, because a Cancer will fight you, but a Mars in Cancer will also fight you. They're just moved by different things, like versus Mars and Aries, or like another fire sign or any other sign. It's just that they're moved more by the way that they feel and by their loved ones and by their emotions. And these people are not afraid to go against authority. And also, since, it's Mars and Mars is tied to, like your sex life and all, with Mars and Cancer, when it comes to sex, it's tied in with their emotions. So it's like you gotta get some kind of emotion with them for them to want to get to that point with you. It's not just like, oh hey, let's go at it. It's gonna be more enjoyable for them if they have some kind of emotional connection with you. Like y'all can actually be vulnerable with each other. And these people may, like, whenever you get a little aggressive with them, during that time, they might like, you know, a little choking, or, a little spanking, or whatever the case may be for them. They might want a little aggression. Don't take it all easy and soft on them. They want the roughness of it. And also, the thought of like going half on a baby may arouse them, or just the thought of them being yours, like them being all yours and only yours. Mars in Cancer does expect for you to know what it is that they need. So they're not going to necessarily just tell you, like, hey, I want you to do X, Y, and Z when we're in bed together. They're going to expect for you to know it, even though this is not the best thing for, a relationship or whatever kind of shift that y'all have. It's not the best, but they may just be thinking, like, hey, I want for you to know what it is that I want you to do without me telling you, because I want you to read my mind. That's kind of how Mars and Cancer would be in that arena. But yeah, so if you were born with Mars and Cancer, I just want to know what you resonated with and what you feel like I left out. But yeah, have a good one.